anxious mind that is full of chaotic thoughts and fears is much like a body of water that has had its sediment stirred up such that the water is now murky. You can't see what's right in front of you. You can't see your own hand. Okay, and that's unsettling. It's scary because you don't know what might be coming at you from any direction. So that puts you on high alerts. It puts you in survival mode. Same thing is going on when we're having an anxiety attack. Okay, something in our environment has triggered us. Okay, meaning it has reminded us of something painful or traumatic that has happened in our past. It stirred up those memories, and we are now relating to the present moment through the lens, the murkiness of the past. So, what to do? How do you clear up murky water? Well, the only way to do that is to be still, because it is the movement that it has caused the sediment to rise up. Okay, it is the thing that triggered you that caused the thoughts to stir up. So you have to disengage. You have to be present and still. Breathe deeply. Do things that take you out of the sympathetic nervous system and stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. Things that are relaxing and calming. Okay. Quietness. Deep breathing where you're focused on the breath. Gentle lighting. Anything you find soothing. This is what you need to do when you find yourself being anxious. You need to find a way to soothe yourself. Self-regulation in a healthy, positive way. Okay. In our culture, we like to numb ourselves and encourage others to numb themselves so that we can go on about business as usual and fuel the economy, right? So generally that means taking a pill. So we can trick our nervous system into feeling that it's okay, but really it's just being suppressed. And all of those issues that brought up the anxiety, all of that's still there waiting to be activated again. So until we really sit with it, we're always going to be in danger of at any moment being triggered to such a degree that we find ourselves unable to function in a healthy way. Okay. Without some sort of crutch or aid like a drug. Or we run away from things altogether, you know. So it really is a practice because we all have trauma. We've all had things happen in our past that are painful. And until we work through them, until we sit with them and really engage with them and glean the lesson and gain the growth, these things are always going to be potential causes of anxiety or depression for us. So we have to make time for that. You know, it's not a good idea to obsess on the past or like constantly focus on your problems. But how else do you heal unless you set a time for that? Make a point of it, you know? If you break your leg, you got to spend some time on some crutches. If you just insist on continuing to go about business as usual, your leg's never going to heal and it's going to be damaged for the rest of your life. Okay. So it's the same with anything else that we go through in life. Psychologically, we have to take the time to be gentle with ourselves, allow ourselves time to heal. So, a balanced lifestyle is conducive to that. You know, meditation, deep breathing, body work, exercise, a balanced diet. All these things are ways to take care of and love ourselves and nurture ourselves. And that creates a positive culture in which we can heal. We can't be going, chasing, distracting all of the time and expect that our wounds are going to heal. They just simply won't, because they can't, because we haven't allowed or given them space or time to heal. So, the world we're living in, the climate globally, is very anxiety provoking. So we're all probably dealing with some degree of anxiety right now. So we got to stay on top of it. We have to stay on top of our health. Make it a point, make it a priority. Because if not, it will add up. And, psychological trauma turns into physical trauma and illness. Chronic stress leads to all sorts of disease and early death, and you lose quality of life. So we should be gentle with ourselves and with others, because life is challenging. It's challenging to be a human. That's why we should all give each other grace. We never know what people are dealing with, what they've been through. Okay. And be kind to yourself. Don't compare yourself to others. Like, a lot of times people say, well, I don't have as bad as this person. That doesn't do anybody any good. We all have different lives. We have different personalities. We have a different capacity for dealing with stress or trauma. It's just, there's no point in comparing yourself, because someone's always going to have it better or worse. And that's just the judgment, and there's no place. It doesn't make any sense to do that. It's not gonna help. So, we should just all understand that being human is hard. Period. It's challenging. So let's be good to ourselves. Let's be kind to ourselves. Let's try to be balanced in our lifestyles. Make time for yourself to play, to rest, to be productive. Okay? These things aren't mutually exclusive. They actually, you'll be more productive if you take the time to rest and recharge through play. At a certain point, if you're just grinding all the time, you start getting diminishing returns. Okay? The quality of your work just goes down, because you're exhausted and you're not inspired, and you're not having fun. So, balance, nurturance, care, love, fun. Stillness. Make time for stillness each day, because a little bit of sediment is going to get kicked up every day. Maybe you had to sit in traffic too long. Maybe you got a flat tire. Maybe somebody flipped you off. Like little things happen here and there. It creates stuff. Okay. If we don't take time each day to let it settle, by the end of the week, we may be in a cloud of blackness. And then our whole weekend is ruined because we didn't take a little bit of time each day to let it settle. Now we have to take all weekend, and maybe we just now we want to go get drunk because it's too much. You know, that's what tends to happen. You get way too overwhelmed. You just want to numb out in the quickest, fastest way possible. That's not conducive to long-term health. It feels good in the short term, but in the long run, it's very problematic. I think yoga is a great lifestyle, and in the U.S., it's become like so trendy, and it's all about like wearing Lululemon and being seen in the coolest yoga studio in town, and like and it's just a workout for many people. But yoga is a lifestyle, really, and it's all about balance, and it's all about the elevation and the expansion of consciousness. So I think being a yogi it's a good goal. It's a good life path, a good choice for anybody who wants to be balanced and healthy and peaceful. I think Jesus was a yogi.